I know Michael pretty well, and and we've talked about things like that. But I don't think there's any question that if you're a great player, and certainly I'm not sure we've seen a player like him in my lifetime, because of his impressive play on both ends of the court. He was arguably, well, I don't think he arguably, he was the best offensive player and the best defensive player in the league. We haven't seen that before. And but the competitive nature of Michael was just unique. And if there's someone that was sort of a challenge to him in terms of, talking about the best player in the league, he was going to prove that that wasn't the case. And also he was going to lead his team. He was just a fierce competitor, but physically, I'm not sure we've seen a package like that. The quickness, the lateral quickness, the vertical, the running, gigantic hands, being able to do things in the air that we see we haven't really seen anyone do like him.
Do you think LeBron James is up there with the greatest players of all time?
Yes. I will, depends on how you see, because according to the position that he plays, when people start comparing him with Jordan, then that's not a fair comparison, because Jordan is far more superior player and a very, very tough league, and very, very very creative.
Sure.
I mean, that's not taking anything away from LeBron James, because he's a great player, but it's not a fair comparison, because I think Jordan is much far superior player.
Michael Jordan is for basketball, for me, he's the end-all be-all. He's the best player I've ever seen. I believe he's the best player I'll ever see. I believe he'll be the best player a million years from now. I really believe that. I believe he is the best ever.
And what do you think about him? What, if you had to sum it up? Because I try to explain it to my wife.
Right.
I never see him play.
Right. Well, put it like this. Invest point this out to me. Michael Jordan is so good that when somebody else is the top of the top, the great in their sport, they'll say David Beckham is the Michael Jordan of soccer.
No, man. Then Kobe, then Braun. Braun is the best all-around player we've ever seen, but he hasn't passed Kobe or Jordan, my opinion. But I played.
What do you think Jordan will average? Where do you think he would fit in?
I mean, he can adapt his game to anything. He would fit in as the best player in the league. That's what he would be. And, I feel like he'll have more possessions to do more things, but there's also more athleticism in his game, and there's more length in his game, but, is also more space for MJ to go to work. So, I mean, we'll never know, but for sure, I mean, he's a masterful basketball player. Like we've been saying, his skill level is unmatched. So, of course, he'll do numbers in this league.
Some athletes play their sport, but a select few change it so completely that the game is never the same again. And Michael Jordan belongs to that rare category. He didn't just rise to the top of basketball. He reshaped the entire idea of competition. Think about how people talk today. When someone calls David Beckham the Michael Jordan of soccer or labels Tiger Woods the Michael Jordan of golf, it's not a casual comparison, it's a global shortcut for the highest level of greatness. Jordan's name escaped basketball and became the benchmark for every other sport on earth. How many athletes in history turned their identity into a universal standard? Only one, and that's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Sure, a tennis legend can win 20 Grand Slams, or a football superstar can collect multiple Ballon d'Or awards, but when the world wants to describe someone who stands at the absolute peak, the phrase remains the same. He's the Michael Jordan of his sport. That's a level of influence and recognition only Jordan has ever reached. Not LeBron James, not Kobe Bryant, and not even the biggest legends outside basketball have reached what Michael Jordan represents. LeBron can stretch his career over 20 years, shatter scoring records, and dominate every statistical category, but he's still compared to the standard, not considered the standard himself. Jordan is the measuring stick, the final word, the blueprint of elite greatness, and that alone tells you who stands at the true peak. Think about it. No one has ever said Jordan is the LeBron James of basketball, and no one ever will. Jordan is the foundation. Everyone else is built on top of what he created. He didn't just compete in the NBA. He became its Everest, the towering peak every generation has to look up to. Kobe looked up. LeBron looked up. Steph Curry looks up. Every modern chase for greatness starts with staring at the silhouette of number 23. And that's where the Real story begins, not with stats or flashy highlights, but with the complete package Jordan brought. The unmatched skill, the physical dominance, the obsessive drive, and the fear he instilled across the league. By the time this journey ends, you'll understand Jordan wasn't just the greatest. He became the definition of greatness itself. Too many people shrink Michael Jordan down to just a scorer, like what made him legendary was only the points he put up. That completely misses the truth. Jordan wasn't numbers. He was the perfect fusion of body, skill, and instinct. The original prototype every superstar since has tried and failed to duplicate. Physically, he was built for domination. 6 feet 6 inches, a wingspan that stretched beyond his frame, and hands so massive he could palm a basketball like it was a toy. That gave him control, deception, and creativity nobody had seen before. One-handed fakes, impossible mid-A switches, late releases after gravity should have dragged him down. He made physics look optional. They called it hang time, but really it was Jordan bending the rules of nature. And his quickness wasn't just speed, it was destruction. One first step and defenders were already beaten, stuck chasing a ghost who could rise, float, and finish before they even turned their head. Michael Jordan's first step felt less like a move and more like a warning, and the next step sealed the play before defenders could even react, leaving him already rising toward the rim with that signature hangtime finish. His explosiveness was undeniable, but what truly made him incomparable was the way he paired that athletic power with precise, calculated skill. Footwork so sharp Kobe Bryant studied it piece by piece, a mid-range shot almost impossible to contest, a post-game that created constant mismatches, and ball handling built on efficiency instead of showmanship. Every motion served a purpose, every touch crafted an advantage, and his hands could turn even the wildest possession into total control. When you compare that to LeBron James, an undeniable physical force at 6 feet 9 inches and built like a moving wall, it becomes clear that while LeBron powers through opponents, Jordan simply floated past them with a level of grace and inevitability that felt almost untouchable. LeBron dominated with sheer force, while Jordan beat you with disguise and deception, blending power with elegance in a way that felt almost impossible. His game lived in contrasts, explosive yet smooth, ruthless yet artistic, and those same qualities turned him into a defensive terror who could keep up with guards, outmuscle wings, and rise with big men at the rim. He shut down passing lanes, sparked fast breaks, and showed a level of physical completeness the sport had rarely seen. Speed, strength, balance, vertical ability, coordination, and total control over every physical tool he had. Watching him wasn't like watching a typical athlete. It felt like seeing the next stage of basketball evolution happen in real time. But beyond the physical gifts, there was something burning deeper inside him, a relentless edge that refused to accept second place. Talent can earn wins and skill can build a season, but what pushed Michael Jordan into all-time territory was that internal fire, a drive far beyond normal competitiveness. Jordan didn't just compete. He obsessed, aiming not only to beat opponents but to break their spirit and remove any illusion that they belonged on his level. His own teammates felt that pressure daily, with B.J. Armstrong recalling that Jordan's practices were often tougher than real games because Jordan refused to lose even a scrimmage, repeating drills or free throws until his standard was met. Anyone who tried to challenge him paid for it, like rookie Reggie Miller, who talked trash once and got lit up for more than 40 points, a lesson he admitted he never forgot, or Gary Payton, one of the greatest defenders alive, who said Jordan always solved him eventually, and once he adjusted, the matchup was finished. This wasn't ordinary competitiveness, it was a predator's mindset. And while LeBron eventually grew into a leadership role, he had to learn how to carry that alpha weight, leaving Cleveland for Miami to be guided by Dwayne Wade and Pat Riley before stepping fully into that identity. Jordan didn't need a roadmap. He was born to lead. From his freshman heroics at North Carolina in '82, hitting the championship-winning shot, to his early NBA days, leadership came naturally, not through charm but through sheer intensity. His approach was fire and unrelenting pressure. Some buckled under it, while others, like Steve Kerr, rose to meet it and earned his respect. That relentless standard lifted everyone around him, forged dynasties, and made 6 championships feel less like luck and more like destiny. And this was an era of steel, not soft whistles. Basketball in the 80s and 90s was raw, physical, and punishing. The Detroit Pistons' infamous Jordan rules were designed to stop him at all costs. Crush, hit, intimidate, cross lines, hip checks, midi tackles. with enforcers like Bill Laimbeer, Rick Mahorn, and Dennis Rodman turning the paint into a battlefield. Most players would have cracked under that pressure, but Jordan only grew stronger, adding muscle, training like a man possessed, and turning every hit into fuel. By the early 90s, the punishment that once threatened to stop him instead forged and unleashed him, and the Detroit Pistons, the team that had built a reign around trying to destroy him, were not just defeated, they were dismantled. But Detroit was only one peak on his climb. To reach the throne, Jordan had to topple dynasties, Larry Bird's Celtics, stacked with 5 Hall of Famers, the Showtime Lakers with Magic and Kareem, rulers of the 80s, and the Knicks, Pacers, and Cavaliers, teams defined by suffocating, bruising defense that made every game a battlefield. Jordan didn't dominate in a soft era. He conquered in one of the most ruthless periods basketball has ever known. This was basketball of bruises and blood, hand checks, jersey grabs, forearm shoves, and if you drove into the paint, you weren't just challenged, you were hunted. And still, Jordan rose above it all.